350. Oh, phone on. What up, man? Now we gonna talk that real shit. Real shit. They gon'
back to the Jonah Fit Me podcast. I'm your host, Jonah Fit Me. And of course, the Chicago Bears finally win the game in their week 5 matchup, avoiding going 0-5. And they wind up scoring 40-point game. And DJ Moore wind up having 8 receptions for 230 yards and 3 touchdowns in the game. Justin Fields throws for 280 plus yards. We on the board. Yes, we is. We finally on the board, man. It is about goddamn time. And well, I've been discussing with Bear fans, basically, yeah, last week Justin Fields had kind of blew the game with the fumble and interception towards the end of the game, but it was also the defense giving up so many second half points. And even in this game, they gave up a lot of second half points. They gave up 20 second half points, but they was able to hold them this time. Also having 5 sacks this season after only having 2 sacks, two throughout the first 4 games of the season. They wound up getting 5 sacks. Of course, it doesn't. Of course, it does help that the quarterback had been sacked 29 times already through 5 games. So that's the most in the NFL. And they was able to finally get to him. And they did a lot of what I actually discussed on what they needed to do and doing man-to-man blitz concepts, zone blitz concepts, everything. They did everything that I needed them to do. The running game was on point. They did have a lot of injuries. They did have a lot of missed tackles on defense, which resulted in Washington getting a lot of second chance opportunities going up the field. They're going to have to find a way to clean that up, because if they're able to clean that up, that minus a lot of yards and that also minus touchdowns. But it is good to see the offense finally do something for a second consecutive week, and for the defense to go out there and do something on go out there and just get those meaningful stops and get some turnovers, a fumble and an interception. Fields finally has a victory. What happened to the defense in the running game? Too many injuries, missed tackles. The running game got on a little bit, but of course, injuries. Injuries is what slowed down the run game. And the fact that you also got to remember, Washington does have a very formidable front seven. So you're going to have to pass on that defense, because they able to stop the run on a consistent basis. They went head to head against the Eagles last just Sunday and gave them everything that they could handle going into this week. So it wasn't like they was just playing complete bombs like they was doing against the Broncos, even though they blew that game against the Broncos. They was able to go out there and do something this time around and actually get the victory. So right now, the offense has finally woken up. Now the defense got to find a way to catch up to their offense. If that defense is able to find a way to catch up to the offense and still have that 5 sack type of game, have a forced fumble here and there, interception here and there, then the offense and the offense continue to roll, they can find a way to turn the season around. Of course, it's only one victory, it's only one game, and it's still got plenty games left. So we're going to just have to see how they incorporate everything right after that. Our offense kind of stalled when Herbert went out. I think it messed with them for a couple of series. Yeah, it did, because Herbert, as some people don't think he should be the starting running back, it should be Roshan Johnson, which Roshan Johnson went out on concussion protocol. Hopefully that Herbert is back after, of course, a week and a half from now. He's able to come back and actually play well. Hopefully Roshan Johnson will be back. Hopefully their other running backs will be back, because it was a lot of injuries in this game. So hopefully they're able to do something. And like I said, Justin Fields was able to just click just like that for the second consecutive game and go out there and pass. Of course, most of the yards came from DJ Moore, which helps a lot. But he was able to feed the ball to Cole Komet, who was his security blanket for this game, much like he was last game, much like he was last year. And if they're able to keep finding that recipe to get them in there or to get the ball to those type of players, ain't no telling what they'll do. And because Chase Claypool, who was taking up majority of the snaps from Darnell Mooney the last few weeks before he stopped playing last week, as you see, when Claypool is not out there and when Darnell Mooney is out there, which I still feel like Darnell Mooney is a better receiver, then guess what? The offense runs hell of a lot better because Mooney's going to go out there. He's going to make those blocks. He's going to try hard to make those blocks, something that Claypool doesn't do well. And with Darnell Mooney doing the way he did out there and the way the offense functioned without him, you can just already know that Claypool is basically gone. He's not going to be playing anymore. Some players wasn't active. The running back from Texas did not play. Yeah, Foreman did not play, so you know he's going to be active next week because you know Roshan Johnson probably won't be back from concussion protocol. Even if he is to come back, they probably going to hold him off for a week to make sure he doesn't get injured, and then boom, you're going to see Foreman go out there and do his thing out there. So yeah, that's basically what it was. They at least made sure to keep one running back not active, so then they can have an extra roster spot for another player out there. And it seems like now we're going to see Foreman go out there and he's going to run angry because that's the type of runner he is. We signed a lot of secondary players, but some got banged up in this game alone. Let's talk about tackling. Hey man, that's what happens in terms of tackling. That's what happens when you don't practice tackling like they used to do 10, well, really 15, 20 years ago. 15 years ago, they used to do tackling on the in the practice field, but also that can result in injuries. I do remember years ago. This is probably Cedric Benson rookie season. R.I.P. to Cedric Benson. He was going out for his rookie in '05, and they were still tackling and Mike Brown cracked the shit out of him, and he dislocated his shoulder, and he didn't play for a little while. He eventually played throughout the season, but we seen exactly what happened. You know, those type of injuries can happen when you tackle, especially when you got a hard hitting safety out there, which Brisker is. So that can have that type of thing to happen. Finally, bear down. I know, right? It is about goddamn time, TOP, that the Bears was able to go out there and do something. Hopefully, this can be a stepping stone for the Bears moving forward. Now, like I said, there's only one damn game, so I'm not gonna get super excited. I'm just finally, it's just a breath of fresh air. It's just one of those moments like, God damn, it's about goddamn time. Even though Fields won this game, there's still room for improvement on his side, like reading better, reading the defense better. Yeah, but the thing is though, he's finally improving. It's like it's finally clicking at him what he needs to do in order to look for those open receivers. He's finally using his eyes to to make the defenders go that way when they in zone. And when it's one-on-one coverage, he's actually able to hit the right man in those and at that time, which he's been struggling to do since he came in the league. It's like it's finally starting to hit him. And because now the offensive line is almost back to full strength with Cody White here in the middle, Tevin Jenkins returned. He was able to just stop shit. Larry Bourne did better as a swing tackle on the left side. Davis and Wright did their jobs for the most part, just holding up. Yeah, they gave up a few sacks, but that's something bound to happen when you have a quarterback that holds the ball still as long as Fields do. But at times, he was still able to get the ball out in 2.5 seconds, 2.7 seconds. That was a few times he held the ball for 3 seconds, but the offensive line was able to hold up and allow him to get that read down the field, which resulted in the DJ Moore touchdown as well. David, what's going on with you? For a while, I thought it was going to be a repeat of last week. Yeah, me too. Me too for a little while, but I was like, I just felt like the defense was going to find a way to be able to hold their end of the bargain, much like they wasn't able to do last week. And luckily, they was able to hold their end of the further. That made things a hell of a lot better to watch. And what they did this week, that what they wasn't able to do last week, and that was to get sacks on the quarterback. Even though they only had 2 sacks through the first 4 games of the season, they have been able to get their hands on the quarterback in those games. It's just that the quarterback was able to break free, look downfield, and hit the open receiver downfield. So it's not like they pass rush. It's like it was last year where they just couldn't get no pressures at all on the quarterback. It's still been few and far between, but it was a lot more pressures this year than it was last year. It's just that when they was able to get to those quarterback, they weren't able to get those sacks. How would you grade the offense with the starting O line and defense? Offense B, defense C because of those missed tackles. Offense, first half, I would have to go A+ because they was able to score so many points in the first half. They put up 27 in the first half. Second half, they scored what 13 points, and they gave up. Okay, they scored 11, and they gave up, and they gave up 13 points in the second half. So they still got to clean some things up because of those missed tackles. So offense to me still get a A- in this, not a B+, but an A- to me. And I am very critical of my team, but they got an A- because they was still able to keep scoring, much like they wasn't able to do last week. Last week was a B+ because what they wasn't able to do in the second half. To me, this time it's an A- because they still was able to keep scoring and keep the points going, and because they learned from what they did last week on a 4th and 1 in the first half, they actually kicked the goddamn field goal. Even though Lovey Smith is not around, I still hold that principle very hard that when it's 4th and 1 and the game is tight, or even if you got the lead, kick the goddamn field goal, get those points because those points can come back to haunt you, much like it did Sunday against the Broncos. If you kick the field goal, if that defense gives up that touchdown, guess what? It goes down on the defense, not the offense. But in terms of the missed tackles, hey man, that's what happens when you don't do tackle drills. You got to learn out there. They got to be able to instead of doing shoulder hits. You got to just be able to wrap up and tackle. They did a little bit more wrap up tackles better this time than they did last week, but it was still way too many missed tackles, and they gave up way too many yards in the second half. So last year, for the most part, they was actually performing better in the second half and giving up the least points in the second half at one point in the season, but giving up most of the points in the first half. So now it's kind of switching up. So now they just got to be able to do that more consistently in the second half. Do what they did last year in terms of not giving up that many points in the second half, and continue to do what they did in the first half in terms of not giving up a lot of points, not giving up a lot of yards, sacking the quarterback, causing fumbles, causing interceptions. So that's one of the main things that this Bears team definitely is going to have to do going forward. But like I said before, as long as that offense is able to perform more consistently, much like they have done the past 2 weeks, they can rack off another 3, 4 wins throughout the season. Matter of fact, I'm going to look up their schedule right now and see exactly who do they play next for the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, and that can give me an insight on the probable wins that they do have. So let's see. Chicago Bears schedule. I should have been probably had this down packed, but rushing and doing everything else. Luckily, my girlfriend, Beyonce, to be more exact, was able to just allow me to do it in the house because I was going to go out to the cottage to go ahead and do it. Plus, the rookies on the D line and linebackers made mistakes with tackling. Well, yeah, I just said it. It happens when you don't do tackling drills. When you don't do tackling drills on a consistent basis, those type of things end up occurring. And it's not just happening with Chicago Bears. It's happening all over the NFL. It's probably over the past probably 10, 12 seasons, there's been more missed tackles by defenders than any other time during the NFL because they don't do tackling drills. And remember, they don't have rookie linebackers. They have a second-year linebacker in Jack Sanborn, and they have two veteran linebackers in the middle and on the right side. So when it comes down to it, it just really comes down to those tackling drills not happening. And now I looked at their schedule. They play the Vikings next on October 15th. That's on a Sunday at 12 o'clock. That is a very winnable game because once again the Vikings defense do not look that good and their offense is still able to score some points. But if the Bears is able to put pressure on Kirk Cousins early, then they're able to possibly get that win, especially if Justin Fields and the offense is able to go out there and play much like they did the past couple of weeks. And then right after that, they play I was going to say Oakland, but the Las Vegas Raiders October 22nd at 12 o'clock. And that will be a bit tougher game because they're going against Jimmy Garoppolo. A lot of people probably don't like Jimmy Garoppolo, but I like Jimmy G. He's one of those quarterbacks that he don't make a lot of mistakes. He's not always going to win you the game, but he's not going to lose you the game. He reminds me much of like Kyle Orton, but a stronger arm. He can throw it deeper down the field, and he's not going to lose you the game. He's going to keep you in the game, and guess what? He wins you games. So that's a tough matchup for the Chicago Bears. And the next game after that is the Los Angeles Chargers. Now that game might be, lost for the Bears, but hopefully they can find a way to get it in because, of course, going against Nick Bosa and Khalil Mack. I think it's Nick Bosa. It's one of the Bosas. That's all I know. And you're going against Khalil Mack, who's probably going to be trying to just kill Justin Fields out there due to the fact that, of course, the Bears traded him. Anyone in the defense you see as a new star offensively, I think DJ Moore is the guy. Well, you think, well, so far, Justin Fields has thrown the ball to DJ Moore 34 times. They have 27 completions for 531 yards total throughout that time period and five touchdowns. So clearly they have a very good connection out there. And because of that good connection, we can see exactly what they're going to do. If they're able to do that the next five games, he'll be over 1,000 yards. To do it the next five games, you can basically see DJ Moore probably breaking Brandon Marshall's record for the most receiving yards in a season, which I think Brandon Marshall wind up getting 1,500 and like 85 yards and like 15 touchdowns in his very first year with the Chicago Bears. So I think that was what 2012, 2013 season, Lovie Smith final season. If it wasn't that, yeah, I believe it was because that was Alshon Jeffrey rookie year, and the offense and they went 10-6 that year. Of course, they fired Lovie Smith. That's a whole other story, but yeah, we can see that. But do I see any new star on the defense? No. Is they got a bunch of veterans. Now the veterans emerge in this game, and that's exactly what we need. We need that veteran play on defense to emerge out there and play. And as long as you got a good pass rush that makes your defensive backs look good, that allow your linebackers to be able to roam from sideline to sideline and make plays, that's exactly what they need. They need the defensive line to constantly put pressure on the quarterback. But when a quarterback able to get that ball out quickly, they have to be able to make that secure tackle right then and there and not allow those extra yards because if they didn't allow those extra yards to come to the score probably be different. It'd probably be 40-16 or 40-13. They don't get those first downs that they did that they was able to get because I believe they had more first downs than the Chicago Bears at one point due to the fact that they was able to get the ball out quickly when that pass rush was able to get to them and they was able to break those tackles and get those extra 5, 10, 15-yard gains. Offense looked good. I think coaching just needs to learn how to close games. Today was a step in the right direction. I do appreciate that, CEO. Yes, it was in the right direction. Coaching do need to learn how to win games, but it also is the players that need to go out and execute, like I just stated, and make those tackles, secure those tackles, and keep those extra yards from mounting up. They give the team an extra chance to keep driving down the field. When it's 3rd and 5 and you get them and you tackle them a yard short of the first down, you can't allow him to break that tackle and then go another 10 yards. When it's 3rd and 15 and you stop them 5 yards short, instead of stopping them 5 yards short, they allow them to break their tackle and get that extra 5-6 yards. They have to be able to secure that tackle, and if they're able to do that, that's how you be able to do it, and that's how those wins become that much easier because in NFL, all it takes is just a breakaway play here and there. DJ Moore did it all game to show you how if a receiver is able to break free or if that running back or tight end is able to break free for those extra yards, what happens? Break free in the open field, touchdown. Because even on that last play when he scored that touchdown, that could have easily been a knockdown. He just got fingertips on it. And DJ Moore with the concentration still able to catch the ball, run downfield and score his 3rd touchdown. But okay, well agreed. So when we beat Green Bay. It's not just beating Green Bay, even though I would love for the Bears to beat Green Bay, which I predicted the Bears was going to split with Green Bay this season. I didn't think they were just going to outright just take the division this year because, like I said before, in the preseason and even before that, even with the key acquisitions, that they still lacking on the D line and not being able to stop runs up the middle, which they did a little bit better in this game. And because of the pass rush and everything else, they was able to do a lot more. They got fired up and they kept that fire for a while. They still made it for a while, but then they was able to crank it up later in the fourth quarter and stop them from getting those extra yards late in the fourth quarter, which equated to, you know, getting a win. So that's basically what they're gonna have to do. And of course, they just gotta find a way to just be consistent. And now I'm going further ahead after that. November 5th, they play the New Orleans Saints. Is that a winnable game for the Bears? You tell me. I don't know. It could be, it could not be. After that, it's the Detroit Lions. Now that's going to be a rough game. Years ago, I would have said, man, that's a win. They at least gonna split. They win. They usually beat the Lions at home and have a tough game on the road against them. For the past few seasons, other than last year, they found ways to win those games. But we're just going to see exactly how that's going to go. Of course, Cleveland Browns. To me, that could be more of a winnable game this year. Of course, they have a great defense, so we're going to really see then hopefully by that time, the Chicago Bears look a hell of a lot better. The Cardinals is up next after that on December 24th. We're going to see how they're going to play. Little man awoke. Just hold on 1 second. Let me grab little man, and then I'll be right back. Hey, man, come here. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here, man. Come here. We bring you on. Shoot, make your film debut. Okay, I'm back. Y'all can see now. This little Jonathan Jr. right here. 5-month-old. Yeah. Get big ass 5-month-old as you can see. Tall as hell. Just like his father. Little Mike want a shout out. Yeah, you want a shout out, man. It's all good. Yeah. You on TV now. Everybody can see you. How you doing, man? Chicago Bears won today. I should have had you in your Bears outfit, but I didn't know how it was gonna be for you. It's all good. Come on. Is it time for you to eat already? Oh, oh. But yeah, man. That might as well should go ahead and end it now because he. So it's all good though. It's all good, little chubby. But man, I'll probably be doing another video tomorrow, further discussing the game and seeing what they're gonna do next week. But yeah, man, this is Jonah Pitney bringing it back to you with another podcast. The Chicago Bears finally get their very first win of the season. Hopefully, they can continue to get those wins. There you go, babe. Take him for now. I'm sorry for waking you up. Probably gonna feed him one more time and then call it a day. But yeah, man, just bringing it back to you with another podcast. All right, people. Peace out, man.
Gon' pitch your spine on the other side. It come out your lip. You heard what I said. I ain't even off a jigger. This shit get different.